Hi there, I'm Christopher and welcome to this, the 6th episode of Christopher, Barons of Gaming. Okay, so this week I picked up my copy of the definitive edition of Tomb Raider from EB Games. Now, I am actually really happy with it. Now, I have played through the PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360 and the PC version for review. And undoubtedly, out of the older generation of consoles and the PC is going to win pretty much every time. Now, I found that the PC version was absolutely fantastic, especially the hair. Now, that's the one great thing about the PlayStation 4 version, is that it does come with the realistic hair.
Our crew is scattered. We're hunted by the island's inhabitants. If I don't survive, none of us will. Not a chance, you bastards.
I am really happy with this. I think that graphically it's great. It's so much better than the previous generation consoles. The gameplay is obviously very, very similar. I have found a few little issues with sort of falling in mid-air for a bit or on something for quite a while. But also the one issue that has really got me, and a lot of other people as well from what I understand, is the fact that in one of the very beginning scenes, Lara is hanging upside down and her hair is facing the wrong direction. Now, they made such an issue about the fact that this was going to have the new hair technology, and they should have got that right. Although I think it's a very minor thing because of the fact that the rest of the game is really sensational. Now, if you haven't played this, you've got to give it a go. It really is just such a gripping game. It's very emotional. As John and I talked about in the Barons of Gaming podcast, 2013 really was the year of emotion, and this is one of the most emotional games out there today. You really experience Lara Croft's emotion. It's just absolutely brilliant. Now, the next couple of games I'm going to talk about are racing games. Now, in late 2013, there were 2 racing games that were released, which are big name titles. Firstly, Forza 5, and then Gran Turismo 6. Now, I know we can't really compare the two because obviously Gran Turismo 6 is a last generation console game, whereas Forza 5 is a next generation console game. But I am going to say straight off that I'm going to compare them. Now, I think they were released within a month of each other, which means they should be of a similar standard. Generally, I'd say the PlayStation game would be better because in general I've found that PlayStation often release a graphically more intensive game which is more reliable. Now, that's not the case in every situation, but here I find that the PlayStation 3 version, as in Gran Turismo 6, really just doesn't cut it. Now, I have to go back to Gran Turismo 5 and say Gran Turismo 5 was a groundbreaking game. It was absolutely amazing. It had 1080p full high definition native graphics. It then had 720p native 3D graphics. Extremely good game. It was a full realistic driving simulator. The issue I've got is that Gran Turismo 6 is a step back from that. It doesn't have the 3D. The graphics just don't seem to be as good. The gameplay itself is exactly the same. And when it comes to it, a sequel should be better than its predecessor. Unfortunately, this one's not. It really isn't. And when it's up there against Forza 5, now, Forza 5 is an extremely good game. I would actually go as far as to say that it is the best game on Xbox One. In fact, I'd say it's the best game by far. It's graphically brilliant. The gameplay is really good. The customizability is absolutely fantastic. The drive avatars are annoying sometimes, but still really good. And overall, it is an excellent game. The vibration on the controller, brilliant. It's a really innovative idea, and everything about this game is just sensational. And when put next to Gran Turismo 6, just does not. They don't compare. They just don't compare. It's so unfortunate to see. And I've played quite a lot of each of them, but I just find that Gran Turismo 6 is actually annoying. Now, a lot of people know that I'm a PlayStation fanboy, and I try and keep it as on an even keel as best I can, but in this situation, I just can't do that. I just can't. And I'm really sorry to say that this could be the end of the Gran Turismo franchise, because it really just is not as good. Now, if they'd released it on PlayStation 4, that would be another question. I think that would be totally different. But the fact is, they just cannot handle it. So I'm really unfortunate to say that Forza 5, fantastic. Play it. It is a great, great game. Really enjoyed it. I would give this a good 9 out of 10. I'd give this a 6 out of 10, unfortunately. Now, the next game I'm going to talk about is one which I have talked about at great length before on the podcast with John, as well as on this channel. Now, that is The Last of Us. Now, I've played through the whole Last of Us again in the past week. Now, this is a fantastic game. If you haven't played it before and you're above the age of 18, it is definitely worthwhile playing. Now, I played it on the Plus version, which means I've already finished it and I'm playing it again. This is a really great thing to do, because you get to keep all your upgrades from the previous playthrough. Now, I don't mean you start off with all your weapons and all your upgrades. What happens is, as you progress, the story will unfold. Weapons will give you things to use, and they will be upgraded from the previous game. So you can then continue to upgrade them, but it means you can get the full thing. Now, I managed to get 4 trophies on this game. Now, this is the hardest game I've ever played when it comes to trophies. It's just impossible to find. And I really enjoyed it. It's such a good game. The banter is fantastic. Naughty Dog just are brilliant when it comes to this sort of thing. And I just have to say that it really is a sensational game. For those of you who don't know, I've recently started an Instagram account under Christopher Baronsofgaming. Please go ahead and follow it. It really is worth having a look at, because I'd like to discuss things, like to put up images of what I'm playing or what I'm reviewing at the time, and I'd really like to get this other sort of social media going. So if you get a chance to have a look. Now, don't forget to have a look at the Baronsofgaming Facebook page. That's obviously on Facebook and Baronsofgaming, as well as our website, Baronsofgaming, and of course the iTunes podcast, which is easily found by going to iTunes and searching for Baronsofgaming. So that's all the time we have for today. So until next time, keep on gaming.